And welcome back to the 2018 World Boys Tournament Championship game for the gold medal here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Change of pitcher for Japan. We'll bring that to you in a moment. Here's the first play. First pitch, first hit, ground ball to shortstop Hayakawa across the diamond to Matsumoto. And is Yang Seo Jun the first out there on a 6-3 ground ball. That brings up the first out. 1 up, 1 down for Korea. Bottom of the second inning. Now on the mound, a change of pitcher for Japan yet again. Kaito Mori is on the mound, number 18 for Japan. So a change of pitcher. This is the third pitcher, and we're in the bottom of the second inning. So 2 pitchers used in the first inning, and we go to Kaito Mori for the bottom of the second. Bat to ball again now on the second pitch. It's only been 3 pitches. Foul by about a yard down very deep right field side.
Again, that wind was trying hard to blow it back into the field of play, but just inches on the wrong side of the line if you're a Korean supporter, and miles foul if you're a Japanese supporter.
Correct, Cam. Cameron Hickson making comments there. Big Cam. And the batter at the plate, of course, is Han Tae-yang. Han Tae-yang at the plate. Fastball, top side of the zone, called strike. So he's had a foul and a strike, and he has a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Yang. 1 out here for Korea. Bottom of 2. Missing high and outside on that next pitch from Mori. Crowd silent at the moment, anticipating something to happen. Fouls it off down the right side. Into the fence outside the Japanese dugout. So nice big crowd in here, all settled in. All the players and coaches and supporters of the teams from all over the world. Han Tae-yang takes the next pitch for a ball. So the count gets up now to a full count. Should be 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. Who wins the arm wrestle between Han Tae and Kaito Mori? Comes the pitch, full count, and a swing and a miss. High in the zone, gets him swinging. And Han Tae-yang goes down with a big swinging strikeout. K2. And Korea go 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning.
Maybe that's how you pronounce his first name, Harrow. It might be K2 Muri.
Oh dear, Cam. Well done.
That's why his parents named him that.
K2.
He was always going to be a classic pitcher.
Oh, I don't know. Crowd getting active.
Crowd getting loud, which is great to hear here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Kim Dong-vin at the plate. He got a single to centre field with his first appearance in the first inning. Now we're in the second. He gets another opportunity. He lobs it over, cannot get it, but on the bounce, third baseman throws it to first, and he cannot stretch to it. He stretches, cannot get to it. A bit of a wide throw there from Miyashita across to his first baseman, Matsumoto. All Matsumoto can do is take a stretch. He tried to retrieve that ball but could not get it into his glove. It was a short hop heading towards shortstop Hayakawa, but Miyashita came straight through from third base, got it on the run and threw it. Maybe needed a little more step. He was a little bit off balance and couldn't get it to him. So Kim Dong-vin safely at first base for Korea.
Yeah, great play by Miyashita to cut that one off. And the throw was okay. I really thought that Matsumoto should have gathered that one in.
I guess it was a big stretch to his left though, Cam, and just couldn't get the tip of the glove into it.
Yeah, I still scored it as an E3 personally, but that's me being harsh.
Yeah, I would still do it.
Because, as I said, as far as I'm concerned, the ball reached him on the full.
Okay.
He got his mitt to it on the full, and he just didn't hang on to it. So,
okay, should have gloved it.
In my opinion, yeah, should have gloved it.
So
and
not a wild throw at all.
No, I might be a little bit harsh on the young man, but I had it as his mistake that the out wasn't made, not the third baseman.
Moon Hyun Jin at the plate. What can he do now? He bounces one back through the middle on a hopper, straight to the second baseman. He throws it to first. and they get the out
They didn't
at
need
first
to.
base. So that was Ruan Otsuka getting it to Matsumoto, and they do get the out on the 4-3 play that time on the hard-running Moon Hyun Jin, and he becomes the third out in this bottom of the second inning. No runs across the plate in this inning for Korea. They leave one runner stranded, do not add to the scoreboard. So after 2 complete here at Blacktown International Sports Park, the score remains 6-2, Korea leading Japan.
And welcome back here to Blacktown for the gold medal game in the 2018 World Boys Tournament. There was a lot of discussion between innings among the umpires, all four umpires getting together down the third baseline there and having a very serious chat about something. Harrow's gone to see whether he can work out exactly what it is. We have a hypothesis that it may be the lighting. They may have asked the lighting to be turned on so that all the shadows that you see covering the inner half of the infield sort of get balanced out a little bit by the lights. We'll see as things go on, but we're heading to the top of the third. Ruan Otsuka in the batter's box for Japan. And on the mound, Yo Myung-gun for the Koreans. Gun fires this one in for a called strike. 1-1, I do believe. The first pitch missed, I think, low and inside. Pretty sure 1 ball, 1 strike. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, the Koreans are really serious about this baseball game. They're onto the umpires about every little thing and every little nook and cranny that they can. This pitch, curveball on the outside corner. Strike 2, nice pitch. So Gun doing a nice job to start this top of the third inning. They have a handy 4-run lead, the Koreans. It's 6-2 here in the top of the third. Gun delivers a 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed by Otsuka. It's not handled by Jin, but he will pick it up and throw it up to Juan, the first baseman, on the K2-3 to get rid of Otsuka for the first out here in the top of the third inning. It'd be very interesting to see what that chat was about, Mackenzie, because it was a pretty animated chat amongst the umpires there, but no real hints. They didn't point up to the lights, or they didn't, they called their umpiring coordinator out.
You know, as you were looking down to see, some stats, the home plate umpire and the catcher were looking up here towards the top as if they were looking at lights or something. I don't know if something's bothering the pitcher. It'll be for sure interesting to see what's going on.
This one chopped towards third base. It gets straight through Vin. It'll roll out into left field, and Miyashita will have a base hit. He gets aboard here in the top of the third with 1 out to try and add some more offense for this Japanese unit. And Vin was he caught in no man's land there. He backpedaled into the sunlight and made it very difficult on himself. So now they must come forward and play short again and respect the Japanese short game. Matsumoto in the batter's box. 1 out. Miyashita at first base. The pitch from Gun misses outside. So can the Japanese carve another one back? They throw to first base just to keep Miyashita honest over there. Miyashita back standing up comfortably. They go again a bit quicker this time. Miyashita all over it. He's back standing up.
We've been talking about how the sun is affecting the pitchers and the batters, but even the runners, you can tell right here.
Most difficult at this time in the evening in this ballpark for the outfielders. Centre field and right field especially. Second base to a lesser extent. And the shortstop to a lesser extent. But they're the four that it really, the middle infielders and the outfielders on the centre field and right field side, because the sun, as it stands at the moment and where it is, they're going to call the umpires together again for another chat. Harrow's come back from downstairs. Hopefully he's got a little bit of information about what's going on. Harrow?
I do have a little bit. It's one of the rumours haven't reached up here before I did. The reason for that earlier stoppage was that apparently the catcher had some blood on his pants. We don't know what caused it or where it came from, but umpires were simply having that discussion, and the option was given to the team to either change his pants or change the catcher.
Okay, because now they're talking about the pitcher's pocket being out. His back pocket is out of his uniform, hanging out. It looked like it to me when I first looked as though it might have been just a rag hanging out of the back of his pants that he could wipe his hands on, but it actually looks like the pocket of his uniform is being pulled from the inside out.
He's got his hands up. So maybe it was his pants with the blood on them, I don't know, but certainly I believe it was the catcher, and he had to go to the dugout, change pants, so he could continue to play. The umpires had that discussion. They did call the chief out, John Bailey. While all that took place, everything was clarified, and that gave him enough time to change his pants anyway.
You've got to wonder how this will affect the momentum of both the Japanese and the Koreans with this stop and go.
Yeah, a little bit disruptive on the Korean team.
Something was taken out of the pocket, Harrow. It's a white, might be a rosin. Yeah, it looks like it's a rosin bag.
Well, you think it would be if it's going to be somewhere. It could be on the ground behind the mound. I don't think he can have it in his pocket or on his person anywhere.
Okay, it's definitely a white, yep, and he's placed it on the ground. Yep, and it was a rosin bag in the back pocket of the pitcher.
And it's not sandpaper.
So that really would have caused concern for the umpires if they saw him reach into his back pocket before every other pitch.
Correct.
They'd have been really concerned as to what he was doing back there. Now, it's all innocent that it's a rosin bag,
yep,
but let's throw it on the ground behind the pitcher's mound and make it obvious to everybody
and
what
when
it
he
is.
picks it up and goes to it to dry his fingers off. And you know what? Another display of very well-balanced, good calling umpiring.
They saw something, they went and discussed it, they worked out what it was, they fixed the problem, let's get on with the ball game.
And it's not a drama.
So Matsumoto in the batter's box.
Well, the game's got everything already. What else can they offer up?
Oh, it's had plenty already, hasn't it? Matsumoto takes this pitch low in the dirt. I've lost all arise of where the count is. I will rely on Harrison, our scoreboard attendant, and let's say it's 2 balls, 1 strike, and we'll go with Harrison. Doing a good job running the scoreboard all weekend. 2 ball, 1 pitch is inside and low. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Matsumoto. All of a sudden, the Japanese getting a little bit of a sniff. They've got a runner on first base. And the count 3-1, a good hitting count for Matsumoto, who grounded out to second base in his first at-bat. 3-1 pitch is in there for a called strike, taking all the way. Matsumoto looking for the walk.
Cam, I can absolutely confirm 100%. Umpire's chief here today just came up to clarify exactly what you said. Rosin bag in the back pocket.
Yep, that's exactly what it looked like. I had the binoculars on it, and they took something out of his back pocket, and his back pocket came out, and that was what was flapping out, and that's what I was trying to see what it was. It was a rosin bag, so good job by the umpires to pick that one up and get that rosin bag on the back of the mound.
All dealt with in a cool, calm, controlled manner with no drama whatsoever.
Correct. You could see that escalating out of control in other games at other times.
Yep.
Not here now. This one, line drive into right field by Matsumoto. He will get aboard. It will just be a single. Runner will hold at second. Miyashita. And Japan now with runners at first and second with 1 away here in the top of the third. We said after giving up 6 in the bottom of the first, the Japanese wouldn't go away. They would only fight harder. And here they come again, here in the top of the third. They scored 2 in the top of the second to bounce back a little bit. Now an opportunity.
Ryuki Nagai, designated hitter, steps in for his second turn.
He was the man that got it started in the second inning with a double. Let's see what he does here in the top of the third. Pitch in the dirt from Gun.
Good catching there from Moon Hyun Jin. Knocked that ball down in front of him, chased it all out, kept his eye on the runners, and they stayed put. Easy for runners to advance 1 base there on a play like that.
That ball only has to bounce away a metre, and those runners are about advancing 90 feet.
Moon was all over it.
Big curveball misses upstairs. Framed by Moon Hyun Jin, but the umpire having none of it. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 pitch swung on, popped up into the infield. A high towering pop-up, difficult in the lights where it is for shortstop Yang, but he comes down with it. Probably could have been called an infield fly. I believe the first base umpire was signalling for the infield fly, so I believe it would have been out regardless. Second base was also signalling it, so great. So the umpires again all over the infield fly and the possibility of that. So again, a very good piece of umpiring by the panel we've got in front of us. And Nagai, the second out there for Japan, bringing Hoshi to the plate.
4-man system, change of pitcher coming up right now. Jo Myung-gun being replaced. He leaves the mound, he waves to the incoming pitcher. He bows to his management and his coach on the line. How respectful.
Number 27.
Even though he's being replaced early, so respectful to say thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely, for bringing me to Australia, putting me in the gold medal match and giving me a crack.
Look at the size of the guy that's replaced him.
Yeah, he's a big boy for
Wow.
a 15-year-old, isn't he? It's Lee Ju Hyung.
Okay, number 22.
27, I believe it
27.
is. 22 is the first
27.
baseman.
Yep, yep.
And if you do want to send us a message, if you're enjoying the coverage, we'd love to hear from you. Twitter handle is @SummerOfBaseball. You see it up there on your screen now. Send us a tweet. Say hello. Tell us where you're watching this gold medal game from, because we'd love to give you a shout out, say hello, and get you involved in a bit of the broadcast. The pitcher going through his warm-ups now. Lee Ju Hyung.
Top of the third inning for this pitching change here with 2 out.
And a difficult spot to come into, or I suppose it's better than having 0 or 1 out for Hyung. Comes in with 2 out, only needs a ground ball somewhere in the middle of the diamond to get him out of here.
Japan with 2 runners on, 2 out, and they're looking to keep this inning alive. They've got a big game of catch-up, 4 runs behind Korea. Probably very fortunate that it's this early in the game. It gives them time and space to be able to get those runs back. Is going to be an enormous effort. Now coming to the plate, the number 6, Yuga Hoshi.
Yeah, Hoshi drove in a run his last time up. He drove in Nagai from second base. So he had that base hit.
So first pitch coming up now from Lee Ju Hyung. Hyung ready, looks in at his signals from Moon Hyung Jin. Yeah, good fastball down low in the zone across the top of the knees.
Yeah, starts off with a strike. Nice pitch from Hyung to get things going.
Yeah, very different style to the previous pitcher.
Very much more sidearm action that we expect to see from some of the Korean pitchers. This one chopped down the first base line. It is foul.
Just goes foul on that one. 2 out, 2 on base. Can he move them around or even get one through the infield to score a runner from second? So everything's set now for Hoshi. If he can get an eye line and a bead on this fastball pitching from Lee.
They did also turn the lights on, Harrow, so maybe that was part of the discussions, but the lights are certainly on here now at Blacktown.
Yeah, good decision. So again, looks the runners back, comes to the plate.
Oh, that was a double play ball knocked down by Hyung, and it'll be no play at all for the shortstop Yang now. It was a comebacker. It was going straight up the middle. The pivots were playing double play positions, and it looks like it was going to be a fairly easy play for Yang to dish off to Jun and to throw across to first base Juan to try and turn the 6-4 to 3 double play. But Yang threw the mid at it, knocked it down into the 5-6 hole.
How do we score that?
Basically, it's a base hit to 6. It's a safe hit to 6, but if it was an out, it would have been an assist to the pitcher.
Certainly would.
But as it is, it's a base hit to shortstop.
Manager visit.
The runner's advanced 90 feet. Probably just going to check and make sure he's 100% okay.
And say, keep your glove out of the way.
And give him a few instructions as to what he wants him to do to this hitter, I would imagine.
Yeah, be careful of that hand. We need that pitching hand for later on in the game. We need it right now. Just throw to the plate, get out of the way of everything else. So it's a long discussion. Very good. Gives them both a hug.
Yeah, Hal goes pat on the back and says, go to your job, go and do what you do.
Yep, very simple. Baseball's a simple game. Don't make it complicated.
Yeah, hit the ball, catch the ball, run. That's pretty much it. So Nanjo in the batter's box now for the Japanese with the bases loaded and 2 out. Is this going to be a turning point in this game? Low and inside. The pitch from Hyung.
I like the way the umpire stays down and has a good look at everything.
That's why we wait just momentarily. We sort of can't hear the umpire up here in the back of the grandstand and with the noise of the crowd. That looked better. That is better. Called strike there for Hyung. 1-1.
Top of the second innings in his first at-bat, Nanjo was left on base at third after getting a single to centre field.
And scoring a run. He drove in a run. This one in the dirt. No advancement. Well blocked behind the plate. Hyung Jin got a nasty bounce. It got up around his shoulders and his throat. Very easy for catchers to bail out when the ball starts to kick up around their throat area. But he stayed down, did a good job of blocking it, keeping the ball on the plate and keeping the runners where they are. Nanjo drives one up the middle. This could be a double play. Well, they don't need a double play ball. They'll just go across to first. It's close, but not close enough. Diving in head first, Nanjo, but the throw is in time to register the third out here in the top of the third. Japan will leave them stranded, all bases full, and they left them out there. No runs advancing for the Japanese in this inning. They will stay on 2. The Koreans have 6 when we come back for the bottom of the third.
And welcome back to the action here as we head to the bottom of the third inning in this fantastic gold medal game, the championship game between Korea and Japan. Korea, as we said, presently leading Japan. If you just tuned in through 2.5 innings, it is 6 runs to 2. Korea 6, Japan 2. We go to the bottom of the inning now, and the leadoff for Korea is Cho Won-tae. Designated hitter, struck out in his first appearance. Check swing on that next pitch.
Called strike nonetheless, Harrow, as it zips through the strike zone. 1-1 the count on Tae.
No changes to defence this time.
Very regimented, very deliberate pitching action from Kato Muri.
The whole infield, as you can see on our shot, is smothered in shade with a couple of patches on first and third base of sunlight.
You can see the shadow almost like a big bird spreading its wings over this infield.
And the lights are on this ground at the moment.
It'll take them a little while to take effect here behind home plate, but it won't be long as Muri again pauses, kicks that leg, fires it in for a called strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Cho Won-tae. The Koreans would dearly love to add a couple more here in the bottom of the third inning. Put some more pressure on the Japanese. The payoff pitch on the way to the plate. On the outside edge, rings him up on strikes.
Well, look at that. Froze him. Case C got struck out looking, did Cho Won-tae, the designated hitter. 1 up, 1 down for Korea. Bottom of the third inning, and that will bring to the plate the number 13, Cho Se-jin.
Wanted the base on balls, did Won-tae, but didn't get them. He was banking on the umpire, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Not in this tournament. That outside corner has been deadly. Was again there for Cho Won-tae.
Another nice pitch there from Mori.
He's working over, as we look at it, the left-hand edge of home plate. It's the inside edge for the right-handers, the outside edge for the left-handers. But he's got a little rut going in there, and he just loves going back to that pitch. Goes the big breaking pitch for a strike. Called strike 0-2 now for Muri against Cho Se-jin.
He's got the lucky 13 on his back. Let's see if he can make it work for him.
So Muri again, that very deliberate action, misses high and wide.
Took a step towards the plate. These guys all weekend, every now and then a couple of little oddities come out and they're quite amusing amongst everybody. as they have a little bit of fun in amongst all of this tension.
To the plate, a swing and a miss from Jin. He goes down on strikes. Had a second out here in the bottom of the third inning. Back-to-back strikeouts, one looking, one swinging for Keito Muri here on the mound for Japan in the bottom of the third.
Wow, he took a big hack at that one. He wanted to go all the way to the fence, I believe. But that only seems to bring to the plate the number 20, Pyo Jun Ju No. Pyo Ju No steps in for Korea. With 2 out here, we're in the bottom of the third inning. Crowd getting rowdy again. It's great to hear. They're all getting involved. All of the players that are in the grandstand have been playing this tournament. This is the 4th day and the last and final game. No waits for this next pitch. Another strike called in there. And the Japanese supporters go up and make a noise.
It's a great atmosphere here for this gold medal game.
Comes to the plate, just misses the outside edge. Wow, that was close.
I think this umpire, Harrow, has moved his zone maybe 3 inches to the left.
Just a little.
He's getting a little more on the left-hand side of the plate, not so much those couple of inches outside that we've seen called.
Yeah.
But it's a very consistent zone.
Absolutely.
That one was on the money. That's going to be for a base hit. This is going to be trouble for the Japanese as it gets down into the corner. Rounding 1 and heading to 2. No will slide in comfortably with a double. A 2-out double for Pyo-Ju No.
A little bit of a rally there from No. Does the right thing. Good hit opposite field. Right down that first base line and goes deep for that double. Down to position 9. So runner in scoring position all of a sudden for Japan. For Korea, I should say. Their spirits lift. Okay, umpires having a conference again, Cam. Bit of a discussion.
Get the binoculars on it, see what I can find.
They're checking
the bat.
The bat. And it's the pitcher goes into the umpires and points at the bat and the umpires while they have a look at it.
They're checking the end of the bat.
Wowee.
It's okay. He's giving them the wave off to say that it's okay.
Rightio. Okay, so I don't know what the pitcher was pointing at. He's asking them to check that bat that player's using. Wow. Big call here, and he's looking back at management. They haven't done anything. They're just leaving it. The interpreter, Ricky, he's... sorry, it's not Ricky. Standing down there in the dugout.
Eddie, I think, isn't it? Eddie,
yeah,
yes.
Eddie. There's lots of Rickies in the field
fast
anyway.
Eddie.
Fast Eddie's there with the best haircut in this ground.
He looks so much like Sai. He looks more like Sai than Sai does himself as this one's lifted into right field. Hossie comes forward, takes the catch, which will be the 3rd out on Zhou Xiang Huan. And that will be it for Korea. They threaten with a double from No, a 2-out double, but they add nothing onto the scoreboard. And after 3 completed innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, it is Korea leading Japan by 6 runs to 2.
And welcome back to the action here at Blacktown International Sports Park in the west of Sydney to the 2018 World Boys Tournament. And you're watching the gold medal championship game between Korea and Japan. For those that have just tuned in, it is Korea 6 runs leading Japan 2 runs. And we're going to the top of the 4th innings in this 7 innings game. And it's had a bit of everything, this game, including bat checks and everything else. But everything seems to have settled down now. The lights are on this ground, and we're just waiting for them to warm up. But they won't really take effect until it starts to get dark around about 5 p.m. If we do still remain here, it is 20 minutes past 4 here in Sydney at the moment. But we're about to start off the top of the 4th innings with Japan coming to the plate through the number 14, Natsuki Fujiwara. Fujiwara steps in. No changes to the defensive lineup of Korea as we have identified yet. Still number 27 on the mound. That first pitch fouled off, and that is Lee Ju-hyung. He came in the 3rd inning with 2 out. We're now in the top of the 4th. So Lee Hyung was brought in to get that 3rd out, obviously in the top of the 3rd, and he did that. Did the job, comes in now for the 4th inning. Fujiwara struck out in his first appearance in the 2nd inning. Struck out swinging. Let's see what he can do here for Japan. Fouls another one off over the left side into the back net. And the breeze that was very strong earlier in the day is still there, but not quite as strong. A couple of kilometres an hour slower. But the sun is certainly bright in the outfielder's eyes. 3rd baseman, line drive down there, gets to the shortstop, backing up Han Tae-yang. Vin could not get to it from 3rd base. It was a well-hit ball. The runner goes to second. Where did the ball go?
It was thrown to first. It was thrown away. It was thrown away from the pitcher. It ended up in shallow right field, Harrow, and that was all the invitation that Fujiwara needed to keep going. Round and round and round he went and ended up at 3rd.
What a delay. He was at first base safely, and when that ball obviously went loose, next thing I saw him charging down the line to second, turning the corner. Good coaching there at 3rd base, calling him through.
So you'll get a single and a wild throw with 2 bases on that one.
Wow. That was huge. It went out to shortstop Han Tae-yang, and then where it went from there, well, that was just wild. Japan get an opportunity with a runner at 3rd base.
It was a bit of a miscommunication play to start with. Vin looked like he had it chopped off, and it got through Vin. That left it with Han Tae-yang to try and make a play. He bobbled it and ended up just picking it up and throwing it away. And that allowed 2 more bases and what should be an easy run for Japan to cross the plate to reduce the margin to 3.
Absolute bit of damage there, Lee Ju-hyung. It hasn't hurt them yet, but there are none out with Matsumura at the plate. Kairi Matsumura fouls one off down the 3rd base side again into the back net above the Korean dugout.
Umpire going for some extra baseballs.
Shadows coming over in the right field side.
Umpire just going to get 4 or 5 baseballs. Oh, no, they didn't want those ones. He'll take some other ones. And again, I said it's got everything. The Japanese are actually examining the baseballs before they...
wow.
Before they're going to go out. And I think there might have been a couple of older baseballs in amongst the new baseballs.
I believe there was plenty there provided by the umpires.
There's boxes of baseballs down there.
So Matsumura takes a big swing on a high fastball and he's down on strikes. Big swinging K2. And that sends Matsumura back to the dugout. The first out here in the top of the 4th innings. 1 out. Runner still there at 3rd base for Japan. And they will be desperately trying to convert that into a run across the plate as Hayakawa comes to the plate. Fouls that off down over the first base side.
Just lands foul. Just lands in the... or outside the field of play, and looks like, Harrow, that the information coming through from the research department was there was some ceremonial signed balls in amongst the actual match balls.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And that they were almost going to throw a ceremonial signed ball out to the pitcher to pitch with.
Whoops.
Well, the umpire was going to put them into his...
That one's in play, right field
pocket.
side. Is it back over first base in foul territory? Caught there by Jo Seung Hwan. The runner gets sent back to 3rd base. Still stranded there at 3rd.
Massive out, that second out there with the runner not advancing. So all of a sudden the leadoff gets to 3rd with nobody out, and he is still there now with 2 out. So that was a massive catch by Hwan in foul territory behind first base.
Yeah, Shun Hayakawa foul fly, and he is out. That's 2 out now. Runner still stranded at third, and it's now up to Ruan Otsuka to try and knock that runner in across the plate if he can get anything through the infield. Backs off a fast ball in the inside, swings him around. He didn't like it. So Lee Ju Hyung is likely to come inside again on the hands, I would suspect. And he does. But he turns on that one, does Otsuka. Otsuka tries to get there. He does not make it to first base on the play. The 4-3 play, second base to first base. And they congratulate each other on getting Otsuka out on that ground ball to second. Good range there from the second baseman, Yang Seo Jun. And they bring up that third out. And Japan leave the runner stranded at third base after being up there with none out. So halfway through the fourth innings, I should say, the score remains 6-2, Korea over Japan. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Korea will come to the plate in the bottom of this inning. A running bunt there from Yu Jung Tak. And Tak gets to first safely, sliding into first base on that bunt. He bunted down the third base line and it got him there. The short game now from Korea. We were expecting the short game from Japan, the opposite way around. So another turn in this game. And Ru Jung Tak up there at first base. Korea start off with their lead off. Getting to first very safely.
I'm just saying, it was very surprising we didn't see the Japanese bunt in the previous inning, and the Koreans start with one.
This one heads up the line to first base. Can turn a double play. Gets there safely though. The cover couldn't get to it.
Toughest double play in baseball to turn is the 3-6 to whether it be 3, 4 or 1 in cover. They got the 3-6 part done very well.
The pitcher was there as well, but
Murray,
they just couldn't get it all done.
Murray was across in cover, but they just couldn't get it back to him in time. And it took Hayakawa, the shortstop, just a little bit of time to wait because nobody was at the bag. He threw it to the bag and Murray got there, but not in time to get the fast-running Jung.
They did get the lead runner, though, and that's the important thing. They've got one out now, and now Yang Seo Jung is at first base. Pick-off attempt, turns back easily. So fielder's choice he gets on.
He does indeed.
With that one. Fielder's choice by the first baseman. Good cover from the first baseman to get the out. And importantly, leave the force on at second base and getting the lead runner out. So one out, one on base, and at the plate, Han Tae-yang. Han Tae-yang, the number 16. He rips one out to deep centre right field. Who's going to get that one? Nobody's going to get it. Runner turns the corner at 2. Will there be a play at third base? No, there will not. Gets in easily. Maybe at second. Does he get him? No, he does not. He slides in around the tag. No tag put on him. Umpire gives him safe at second base. And now the game turns around again. Yang Seo Jun stands at third base. Han Tae-yang turns that into a double.
You know, I'm really not sure what happened out there in the outfield. It was like both outfielders right in center. It was like they started slowing down as the ball was coming down to the ground.
I think it's to do with the shade and the sun, the ball coming out of the sun into the shade, plus it is in their eyes somewhat.
Maybe a little bit of miscommunication as well. I'm not sure. But that was definitely a mistake.
Certainly is, Mackenzie. But now they're under threat again from Korea. There are 2 runners on, only one out.
This should score a run. It's deep enough fly ball to left.
Tag and go, and he does. Will there be a play at home? No, there will not. Yes, they attempt it, but it's not going to get there. And the number 2, Yang Xiao Jun, crosses for an extra run for Korea. They now take their score to 7 on the scoreboard. Kim Dong Vin, that was out on a fly ball to left field side. High fly ball, well taken in the sun by Kairi Matsumura.
But it will be scored a sacrifice.
Yep.
It will drive in a run. It will give the Koreans a 7-2 lead over the Japanese.
5 runs is a big deficit in a 7-inning game.
Considering this is bottom of 4, so 4 are just about done.
Yeah, absolutely. At the plate now, Moon Hyung Jin. Moon Hyung Jin at the plate now. Leaves that first pitch alone for a ball. He takes that one. Runner at second base only. First unoccupied. Pitcher comes to the plate now. Drives it down the third base line. Knocks it into foul territory. Runner nearly went back. But he came down there because he couldn't see where the ball was. His coach called him through.
He got a bit of a mixed signal from his coach. His coach was pointing at the bag with his hand down, saying, get on the bag and hold the bag. And he sort of thought the coach was saying, stop, go back. And he wasn't exactly sure what signal he was getting from his coach. But in the end, no damage done for the Koreans. He jumps aboard third base, and Jin gets aboard on that hit to third base.
He certainly does now. Runners on the corners for Korea as they tried to build this scoreline a little bit bigger and increase that gap. Cho Won-tae, I should say, at the plate. Big left-hander, the number 17, steps in with runners on the corners.
How surprised are you guys at this game right
Very.
I'm also surprised at the Japanese response. It's a little bit of a sort of, shoulders slump and, not really just, I'm going to fight this every inch of the way. There's a little bit of resignation about this from the Japanese, it looks like, in their body language.
Whereas last night when they were playing the Skyroos, it was like they got down, they went, they huddled, and all of a sudden a team that looked like they could be playing professional baseball showed up.
Correct. As this time Mura finds a strike on Tay. Count to 2 balls, 1 strike. There's 2 out runners at the corners for the Koreans. They lead at 7-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Tay, the designated hitter for Korea, has struck out twice.
Oh, the absolute... You do not see that from a Japanese team. The miscommunication to cost them another run. They were looking at a short throw to second base to try and get the runner coming home on a cross-up play, and the shortstop left it for the second baseman. The second baseman left it for the shortstop, and the ball ended up in centre field. The run scores, Yang scores, and Jin goes around to third. You just don't usually see those sorts of mistakes from the Japanese. The pressure's starting to tell.
Oh, wow. An appeal up to third base. Umpire. Must have been on the swing, I guess, on the last swing.
Yep, exactly right, because he sort of held the bat round and then swung his body through. Was it an attempt to hit the baseball? The third base umpire says no, it wasn't. It was an attempt to get out of the way of the baseball.
Tay leaves that one alone, takes the strike. Cho Won-tae, it's all up to him now. A breakout from Korea again. 8 runs on the board. And he gets rung up on the outside pitch, gets the front edge and gets a called strike there. Well done from a pitcher, Mori. He gets that strikeout, a big KC. He freezes Tay, who thought it wasn't there, but guess what? It was, and that is the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 4th innings. So after 4 completed, the score is Korea, 8 runs, leading Japan 2 runs. And we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to the action here in this gold medal game in the 2018 World Boys Tournament here from Sydney, Australia, where you're listening to the Summer of Baseball broadcast by Sports Broadcasting Australia. Glad we could be here and very happy we can bring this video to you around the world, this coverage of this great championship game. We're at Blacktown International Sports Park, top of the 5th innings in a 7 innings game, and the score line is Korea 8 runs leading Japan 2.
Lee Hu-yong throws the first pitch to Miyashita. It is up the middle. Oh, great play from Yang, the shortstop. Han Tae-yang ranging behind second base. He scoops it up, doesn't even change strides. He throws it across his body, and those throws can go absolutely anywhere. Well, I'll tell you where this one went. It went straight down the mitt of first baseman Hwan for the first out. That's a fantastic play from Yang.
Mature beyond his years.
I think that the Koreans are starting to put it into cruise control. They know that the Japanese, their shoulders are starting to shrug. The bats are even starting to get a little lazy. And I think that this game could very well only go to 5 innings if the Japanese aren't careful.
I was going to say, if the Koreans only need 4, they're 8-2 in front. Yeah. And a 10-run rule comes into effect after the 5th inning. So the Koreans and the Japanese, well, the Japanese especially, will need to be very, very careful because, as Mackenzie said, body language is looking a little bit bad on the side of the Japanese. They're looking a little bit frustrated, a little bit dejected. They need something to get them into this game. This has popped up into centre right. It's going to be a tough play in this breeze. It's going to be a no catch. It bounces off the mitt. I thought it was going to be a great catch from Jin, but it bounces off his mitt, gets to the wall, and it's going to be a triple for Matsumoto.
Wow. What a hard hit ball and a very tough one to catch out there. I'm surprised they could even get to it. 2 of them were chasing it down, but it was a great hit from Matsumoto, and he stands at third base with 1 out. Again, opportunity knocks for the Japanese team.
Just when we start talking about them having their heads down, he does that.
They get a little bit of luck. You know, Jin ran it down. It was a great chase from Cho Si-jin in centre field. He ran that ball down, but he just overran it half a step at the end, and it hit him on the heel of the glove hand and bounced hard away towards the wall, which is what gave Matsumoto the extra base around to third. But a fantastic bit of ranging and chasing by Jin, the centre fielder. He just couldn't quite drag it in.
Ryuki Nagai at the plate now.
Nagai takes first pitch up for a ball.
I'm not really sure what just happened right there, but I think that they were thinking that he was standing a little too close to the plate. They kind of had him back up there.
Okay.
This one to the outside corner misses. 2 straight balls now on Nagy.
That can be another strategy introduced as well. Get in and crowd the plate. Maybe take a hit by pitch. Put runners on the corners.
I did that on the weekend and got struck by a pitch.
Did it hurt?
Nope.
Never
hurts when you're in front.
Tough guy.
Never hurts when you're in front.
Tough guy.
Only hurts afterwards.
Let's see what Nagai can do here as the designated hitter. Pitcher hasn't been changed. Still number 27 up there for Korea.
Lee Ju-hyung shows bunt, withdraws bat, takes strike. 3-0 pitch. Had no intentions of leaving the bat out there, Nagai, on that occasion. Purely and simply to try and put Hyung off. See what he does with the 3-1 pitch now from Hyung. He slaps it straight at first baseman. Oh, he gets straight through Hua. All of a sudden, Korea are leaving the door open. That beats the right fielder. Take 2. It's going to roll to the corner. This could be an inside the Parker. They're winding him round, holding him at the last moment.
Oh, wow, as that ball gets run back into the infield. And, wow, that's massive. Across the plate, Matsumoto crosses for an extra run for Japan here now. And Ryuki Nagai, as designated hitter, he did get the job done. He now stands at third base.
Talk about opening the door wide open for the Japanese. They've looked a little bit lethargic, a little bit one step behind the Koreans. Then all of a sudden, back-to-back mistakes. Jin couldn't quite drag in a high fly ball, and then one that gets through the first baseman, Hwan, through the right fielder, Take, all the way to the wall. All of a sudden, back-to-back triples, and the Japanese are right back in this ball game.
This is exactly what we saw from them last night. Of course, they were up for the most part of the game, but all of a sudden, the Japanese bats just kicked in.
This is a little bit more of the Koreans maybe faltering and just getting a little bit nervous. This one's fouled down the first base line.
A little bit nervous or a little bit confident?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a little bit nervous about shutting it out. Maybe, going on to win the game. But you can understand the Gin mistake in centre field. That was just out and out pay. He just had to go flat chat. That was just unlucky. But to beat two players on a rolling ball down the right side of the diamond is just unheard of. Straight through the legs of the first baseman, and then Tack just overran it. He was trying to attack it and never actually got down to it.
Well, this is Hoshi at the plate now for Japan. Yuga Oshi.
And he's 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles. So it doesn't relent. He has been probably the form bat in the constant contact. Allows that to pass, called strike outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Yoshi.
Yeah, not his pitch.
He's had a single to third and a single to shortstop. So 2 infield hits. He's scored a run and driven in a run. Inside, swings at it. It was way out of the strike zone. It was way inside. And Hoshi goes down swinging pretty much at a pitch that he'll regret when he looks back at the tape that he went after.
Unusual for the young man to do that. Something in there almost on his ankles.
He was looking to go right field as well. He really was looking to hit it down the right field line and came up empty.
Nanjo steps in now.
Can he drive in another run for the Japanese? If they could get that second run across the plate in this inning, get it back to 8-4, they would feel very, very good about their chances in the last 2 innings.
Well, it would get them back in touch. At the moment, they're not in touch.
So Nanjo waits on Hyung. Hyung in the dirt. 2 balls well blocked behind the plate by Hyung Jin. Can't afford to allow one of those to get past him. Otherwise, it's another run scores.
Nanjo waits patiently.
Pitch
holds that bat
on
up
the inside
high.
corner.
Called strike.
We've noticed that inside corner being called a little bit more prominently in this game. But consistently, and that's all you can ever ask from an umpire. 1-1 pitch on its way. It's on the outside edge. So working both corners over very well in this at-bat is Hyung, the pitcher. Nanjo a little bit caught into what he does now. He's gone outside, he's gone inside. Where does he go with this next pitch? The 1-2 pitch. He goes outside corner. Nanjo good enough to stay with it and foul it off.
Of course, the big advantage that Korea hold is they are batting in the bottom of the inning when they come to the plate. So even if we get to the bottom of the 7th inning, they still hold all the cards.
Another pitch on its way up and out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner on third for Japan. They trail by 5. It is 8-3. The Koreans leading the Japanese here in the gold medal match of the 2018 World Boys Tournament from Sydney, Australia.
They did leave a runner on third last inning.
Chopped to slow roller towards second base. Jun comes up with it. No mistake from Jun on this occasion. And he throws out the sliding Nanjo at first base. No doubts whatsoever about that out in my eyes. Clearly out at first, and that will end the inning. The Japanese offer a little bit of resistance. They get a run here in the top part of the 5th. It takes their tally to 3. But halfway through this 5th inning, they still trail the Koreans by 8-3 here in the gold medal match. Back shortly. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. You are tuned into the gold medal game in the 2018 World Boys Tournament from Sydney, Australia. And you are listening to the Summer of Baseball, brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. I'm Big Cam Hickson. With me here in the box, Paul Harrow-Harradine and Mackenzie Payton, bringing you all the action of this gold medal game. It's been a little bit of a strange game. We've got a change of pitcher on the mound for Japan. Replacing Koto Muri is Rai Takahashi.
Takahashi looks the goods.
So Takahashi has done his warm-up. He's a very similar pitcher to Shunya Are, who started left-handed with a very deliberate motion.
Yep.
So we'll see how he goes.
And the lead-off for Korea will be Cho Si-jin.
Yeah, Cho Si-jin. To start things off here, bottom of the fifth. That one is on the outside edge from Takahashi. Good start from him, who will get a header strike on Jin.
Very slender build on Takahashi.
Jin is 1 for 2 from the day. He's had a single, a K2, and has scored a run. That one just short of the plate.
We haven't seen the dominant pitching as we have in the previous games for the Japanese. It's like they're missing their marks, and I don't know what's going on.
They're just a little off, aren't they?
Yeah.
What's going on, Peyton? I nearly called you Peyton. Mackenzie. What's going on, Mackenzie, is a 4-day tournament.
Yeah.
I think that's it, because they do run out of pitching. They come up with sore arms because they've played games before they got to this tournament as well in warm-up. So, I think that's probably what it is. They're digging deep on their pitching strength, and some of the guys just don't recover the same because they're not used to playing, 1 and 2 games a day over a 4-day period, I guess.
Yeah, look, the dominance that they've had, they could have saved their number 1 and number 2 pitches for this game. Maybe they did. As this one chopped into the 5-6 hole, cut off by Miyashita, the third baseman, makes the throw across the diamond comfortably for the out. One gone here, bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, Cho Si-jin gone. 1 up, 1 down for Korea. And that was Shunsuke Miyashita at third base, getting that across to Matsumoto at first to bring up that great out across the diamond.
But just some little things have creeped into that Japanese game. We haven't seen them bunt. We haven't seen them steal base. Things that we were seeing them do ad nauseum in the round games has just deserted them here in the gold medal game.
Called strike on that one on the number 20, Pyoju No. No steps in again for the next pitch. 1 out. Another strike inside corner of the plate there, Cam. You called it earlier. The lefty on the right-handed pitcher coming inside edge and getting that nice corner of the zone rather than work the outside edge.
And the umpire has been very consistent on that corner. You've got to give him credit for that. Slow roller towards third base. Miyashita again with a throw, and again a very good throw across the diamond to his mate Matsumoto at first base. Back-to-back ground balls to third base to end the first 2 batters' threats in Jin and No. And that will bring Hwan to the plate to see whether he can get anything going for Korea here in the bottom of the fifth.
Korea certainly not getting much leeway here in the bottom of 5 as we get to the number 9 batter in the lineup, Jo Seung Hwan. Hwan leaves that one alone, and well done. It was a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes on Jo Seung Hwan,
who has hit both balls to the right side of the diamond so far this afternoon. Takahashi, that very deliberate motion. Throws curve ball, doesn't quite get it to the plate for a strike. He's had a single and a fly out in his 2 at-bats, and I think he is credited with an RBI by my very unofficial stats. Chopped up the middle, should be a fairly easy play for Hayakawa. And it is indeed. So a 5-3, a 5-3, and a 6-3. They are the 3 up, the 3 downs here in the bottom of the fifth. The Japanese building a little bit of momentum, but they're a long way back as we head to the 6th. It is 5 completed innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park in the gold medal match. And the Koreans are holding all the cards at the moment. They lead the Japanese by 8 runs to 3 when we come back with the 6th inning.
And welcome back to the top of the 6th inning here for the championship game. This is the gold medal game, the battle between Japan and Korea. Korea holding well here. They're ahead in this game by 8 runs to 3 over Japan. 5-run deficit the Japanese have, and they come to the plate in the top of the inning here. The lead-off is Natsuki Fujiwara for Japan. And 8th batter in the lineup. No changes to the defence of Korea that we can visibly see. No, all good.
That was a beautiful pitch.
He's still got that nice sidearm action going. He's still throwing hard. So no reason to replace him just yet.
So throws that one inside on the dirt, just working on the hands of Fujiwara. Korea trying to shut them out here, not give them any breaks whatsoever. Japan have had a few opportunities, but have not been able to convert those runners at third base into a run on the scoreboard. They've let that go in the last 2 innings and have not introduced the short game that we saw yesterday that worked so well for them.
Maybe they think that the Koreans, they know that short game so well that they've got to go to something a little bit different, but whatever it hasn't worked in this championship game.
So let's see how this 6th inning works out for them.
It was almost
Slap.
what Australians would call a cricket shot. The bat was vertical instead of horizontal.
Right down low, stepping out of the box. Ready to head up the line if he could. So Fujiwara waits the next pitch. Does the same action again, slapping to the opposite field.
And scattering that one amongst the Alameda and San Diego and Hawaiian boys that are gathered down on that third base side in the beer garden facility.
All down there having their little celebrations and mixing and mingling with each other.
Just getting ready for the closing ceremony, which will come up after this game.
Certainly will. And the presentation of medals or awards or trophies, whatever they are playing for here. Certainly playing for first place. That's the important thing.
All the sheep stations, all the marbles, whatever you like to say.
All the toys in the box. They're all on the line right here. Fujiwara at the plate. Slaps another one to the third
Watch
base
out,
side.
boys, that's in the beer garden as well. It's on the roof of the beer garden.
I think Fujiwara's just being disruptive.
Hey, he's just trying to give them a few souvenir baseballs down there that they can get signed afterwards.
Letting them know that he's here. So Lee Ju Hwang, or Hyung I should say, on the mound for Korea. Has been there since the 3rd inning with 2 out. Now we're in the top of the 6th inning. He's been doing a good job. And gets him swinging on that one. Fujiwara came away from that pitch as it went to the outside edge. So he goes down on strikes. I think he got a little foul tip on it, but certainly down on strikes.
And the Japanese manager, just letting him know, pinch hitter. Okay, he was coming out, he was doing a lot of gesturing and couldn't work out why he was gesturing. It's just a pinch hitter has come into the game. So Kiara Matsumura comes out of the game. And number 2. And that's Takumi Miwa. Takumi Miwa into the game.
Okay, Takumi Miwa at the plate. Let's see what he can do here, the number 2. Takumi Miwa. And he replaces Kairi Matsumura. Gets an appearance at the plate here in the 9 slot. Down low and in the dirt here for Japan. 1 out. Miwa at the plate. Let's see if he can kickstart the Japan attack here. They trail by 5 runs. The crowd cheering every pitch from the Korean pitcher.
There's a lot of Korean flags in the audience.
Yeah,
tonight,
good to
in
see.
the crowd.
A lot of support for the Koreans here in this baseball park.
Comes straight across the middle of the zone. That time does Hyung.
Yeah, 3-0. I don't think he was worried about Miwa having a big hack at that.
Comes again straight to the strike zone. Miwa has a drive down the third base side, only to put it into the Korean dugout. They're struggling to pick it up in the dugout. I think that must be one of the managers. Miwa steps in again now, waiting for the next pitch from Lee Ju Hyung. Goes a slow roller to shortstop. Can he get to it? Yes, he can. He gets it across the dome to his first baseman, Jo Seung Hwan, and they do get that out on the 6-3 play. Good job by the shortstop digging that out, and the ground ball to shortstop brings up the second out here on the Japanese batter Takumi Miwa. So 2 up, 2 down here for Japan. We go back to the top of the order with Shun Hayakawa.
Sorry about to say running out of outs, Harrow. They're down to 4 outs now, the Japanese, to try and get out of this baseball game.
They're in a lot of trouble. Backs to the wall baseball from Japan. But there are 2 out here, nobody on. Top of the 6th inning in a 7-inning game. Bats that one into play down the third base line. Tight, gets it across to his first baseman on the stretch and on the tag as well. He gets the charging Hayakawa out at first base, and that is to 5-3 out. Kim Dong-vin grabbing that ball at third, getting it across to Hwan at first, and that shuts down the attack from Japan with a 3 up, 3 down, top of the 6th innings, and that's a good defence from Korea. So 3 out now and 3 up, 3 down, gets them no score on the board. They remain on 3 runs. Korea lead them 8-3 halfway through the 6th. Welcome back for the bottom of the 6th inning here at the 2018 World Boys Tournament. Gold medal game between Korea and Japan. Korea have a stranglehold on this, leading 8-3. Japan need to get 5 runs back, but we're in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 inning to play. And Korea leading this game very comfortably by 5 runs. Japan will have to shut them down in this innings and get 5 runs to keep it alive. And from what we've seen thus far, it's highly unlikely. High fly ball, pop-up from Ru Jung Tak. And Tak is out on the fly ball. Wow. That was a run back from shortstop.
Hayakawa got back there to take that one.
Shun Hayakawa, the shortstop, number 13, gets all the way back to almost a short centre field position to take that catch on Ru Jung Tak. And that is 1 out there with a fly ball to position 6, albeit very, very deep position 6. 1 up, 1 down for Korea, brings to the plate Yang Seo Jun.
This is upstairs in Harrow. While the curtain is slowly but surely coming down on the 2018 World Boys Tournament. Never fear, there will be a 2019 Boys World Tournament.
Next pitch comes through, leaves that away. Jun did not want that one, it's not his pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Yang. Next pitch coming in from Hashi.
Fouled off. I might take this opportunity to finish that thought. We were talking to the tournament organiser, Andrew Ross, earlier in the day, and he has told us that the 2019 tournament will be held in Rome, Italy. So a wonderful location at this exact same time of year, early August.
Big event.
So that will be summer in Rome. It'll be beautiful, about 27 degrees down there on the Mediterranean, surrounded by the very various seas.
Hit straight line drive to second baseman Otsuka. Ruan Otsuka takes that catch, backing up from the second base position, just to the edge of the cut grass off the bat of Yang Seo Jun.
And the fact that it is going to be held in Italy opens the tournament up to be a very massive sort of tournament. There's a lot of European teams might send their boys' teams across.
Good development.
The Japanese, the Koreans, the Australians are going via Japan. So the Australian team's going to stop over in Japan and play a few high school games on their way to the tournament.
Yep.
And that will allow the Australians plenty of practice before they get there. But it promises to be a great tournament, so keep your eyes open on this World Boys Tournament website. All the information will be posted up there as the tournament draws closer next August.
If you want to go there as a supporter, keep your eyes on the website, and you might be able to book in on the tour as a supporter and do a little bit of a side trip around Europe, especially Italy, Greece, all of that sort of place.
That was beautiful.
Yang goes down on strikes. Nice pitching from Takahashi. So struck out, and away you go. Yang down now, Han Tae-yang. 3 up, 3 down for Korea in the bottom of the 6th inning. The score remains unchanged. Korea 8, Japan 5. Back in a moment.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. The closing stages of the gold medal game here in the 2018 World Boys Tournament. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you this tournament here on Sports Broadcasting Australia. It's been a wonderful tournament. It has been played in fantastic spirits. All the boys from all across the globe, the Americans, all of the Australians, and especially these Koreans and the Japanese doing it in a wonderful style and playing it in a great spirit, a great cultural exchange as we head to the top of the 7th. Japan down to their last 3 outs to try and find a miracle, and Ruan Otsuka will start things off. Change on the mound, however, Harrow.
Well, it certainly is. Kim Min Jae comes to the mound now to close out here for Korea in this last inning, the top of the 7th inning. If Korea can get these outs, Japan can't make up that 5-run deficit. It is game over. So what a tournament. What a great friendship series for all these young gentlemen out there that have been travelling with these teams, and the supporters that have travelled with them as well. It's a change of culture.
You know, I already see some of the teams down here. I think it's Hawaii. They've got their jerseys in their hand, and apparently it's tradition at this tournament for the boys to exchange their game jerseys.
There's lots of trading going on. Lots of even management are coming up to me trying to trade all my Blue Sox gear. I've had plenty of offers for my Blue Sox jackets and playing shirt. It's, at the moment, I'm not trading that. I'm keeping that, as this one is a called strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes called on Otsuka, the leadoff here in the top of the 7th. In the final chance for the Japanese. Full count pitch swung on, fouled off. Otsuka stays alive.
I've got to also say the cultural exchange and the friendships exchange isn't limited to the travellers and the teams involved. Mackenzie, we've had a great time with you in the broadcast booth with us. Thank you so much for your efforts.
As this one's going to be lifted into left field, the Japanese stay alive. They get a lead-off single. Otsuka lifts it into left field and gets aboard. And not only yourself, Mackenzie, but all of the interns have done a great job up here, volunteering, helping, doing whatever's necessary to get this tournament running smoothly, or as smoothly as possible.
Well, we feel honored to be here. It's been so much fun, and everyone here has been so nice, and
Change of pitcher.
it's for sure been a learning experience for us.
He got to face one batter, did Kim Min Jae.
Taking no chances at all, the Koreans, as grab the binoculars to get a number on our new pitcher.
I think he's probably one of the younger players in the squad, and they put him up there just to give him an opportunity to be on the mound and do some pitching in Australia for the final day of this tournament.
Shim Kyu Jin, number 18, the new pitcher on the mound for the Koreans.
Okay.
Shim Kyu Jin. He will go up there, but yeah, it's been wonderful. As I said, the tournament has been well organised by Andrew Ross from Red Stitches and the Ross family. They've done a great job being here and getting things going on time. The games have been on time pretty much all across the entire 4 days. Thankfully, we haven't had too much weather interruptions. We've had 3 brilliant days and 1 overcast morning. A little bit of rain fell, slowed us down by half an hour or so, but we got back on track very quickly.
Certainly did. This pitcher going through his warm-up. Shim Kyu Jin.
Little bit disappointing that the tournament is played at August time, being our winter. If it was just a little bit later in sort of September or October in our spring, when the weather had turned a little bit warmer and a little bit nicer, it'd be a little bit more pleasant for the visiting, especially the Americans coming from their summer, etc., to not be quite as chilly as they are.
Of course, all
here.
the visitors from the Northern Hemisphere, of course, have to get back to school. And they're breaking their neck to do that. They just
and that's why it's played. Well, that's why it's played at this time of year, Harrow, so that they can all come whilst they're on their summer break.
Exactly.
I'll tell you one thing: this is a good ending to summer break for all of us.
That's it. A party in Sydney, Australia. Yeah. How much better can you have for the end of your summer break? I suppose some of them will say Lake Tahoe or maybe Cancun or something like that. But that's probably spring break more so than summer break. But anyhow,
change of pitcher, stepping in for Japan, Shunsuke Miyashita. The third baseman takes the first pitch for a strike, not the one he wanted, not his pitch. Runner at first base, Ruan Otsuka.
Japan is going to have to be really aggressive here in these next 2.
It's going to be difficult to see how they can be aggressive, though, because if they drop the ball down and bunt it like they so wish to, it can be an easy out. If you don't get that bunt towards the line, it's very easy for the pitcher just to pick it up, throw it to first base. You're losing out. When you've only got 3 outs left, it's difficult to be confident doing that. 1-1 pitch on its way, swung on deep to left, foul. It was a well-hit ball, but it just kept curling on the wind. Out of play in the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Miyashita.
Those lights just starting to kick in now as well. The sun's gone down behind the stadium.
Taking a little bit more effect on the infield. I guess truly the sun does set on the tournament, Harrow, as we see it going down in the west behind us and bringing to an end a wonderful, wonderful tournament. As Miyashita can lay off a pitch now and get the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miyashita just reaches a very outside, low and outside pitch, just throws the bat at it, gets a little bit on it, enough to keep him alive in there. The count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes, but a really good pitch by Jin to keep it low and away. And it took everything Miyashita had just to get a little bit of bat on it. Foul it off, stay alive. Another 2-2 pitch from Jin to curveball. This one hit hard towards the Korean dugout. Bounces off the advertising hoardings and heads back into shallow left field. And one of the Koreans will go and collect.
He's for sure going to battle. He's not going to look at a strike. That's for sure. That's not how he's going to strike out.
And that should be the way, especially when you're down to your last 3 outs. If you've got to go down swinging, you say like a boxer has to go down throwing punches and swinging. Here's a line shot up the middle. And Miyashita gets the job done for the Japanese. He manages to find a way to get a base hit. And the Japanese have 2 aboard with nobody out. All of a sudden, the Koreans are nervous. And we're going to have a pitching change.
No, I don't see them making up 5
No, not
or
a
6
pitching
runs.
change. We're having a third base change. No, we're going to have a pitching change as well. We're going to have a wholesale change.
Okay, 17. He gets up to face 1 batter.
It was nice to see a little fist bump there after that nice hit there.
So Lee Yu Chan will go to third base.
Cho Won Tae goes onto the mound. Number 17.
He was designated hitting.
Okay.
I thought I'd seen his name somewhere before.
Yep. You had. So Cho Won Tae gets his opportunity from designated hitter to number 1. Steps up on the hill. Then at third base, Cam, what was that one again?
Who did I say was there?
Just trying to look at his number right now.
Short-term memory loss. Lee Yu Chan, number 23. It's been a long tournament, Harrow.
It certainly has.
It's been a wonderful tournament, though.
At least we have a beautiful sunset to look at there in the background, as you can see on the screen.
Yes.
Beautiful night. A little cold.
That's it.
But
Not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
Beautiful, clear Sydney evening. If only we had a camera pointing out backwards, it would look beautiful.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll just check. I'll go out on the veranda.
Grandstand.
You know, the other night I saw a shooting star out there in right field for the first time. I had never seen a shooting star. It's just, you know, a time for first here in Sydney.
Well, that's it. We're underneath the earth compared to most of the land masses. We're at the other end, upside down,
Bottom of the world.
compared to some. But the thing is that we don't have a lot of massively built-up areas. We've got a lot of open space. And if you get yourself away from a lot of the street lights and a lot of the building lights, you do get a beautiful look at the stars in the sky here in the southern hemisphere. So done with the warm-up pitches is Cho Won Tae. And Matsumoto into the batter's box now for the Japanese. Are there going to be some final innings heroics here from the Japanese? Matsumoto takes the first pitch for a called strike.
5 runs, Cam. Impossible from here.
Oh, Harrow. Will you never learn? This one, a slow roller towards shortstop. Going to be a super tough play at first. Safe at first, I believe. Yeah, didn't have the ball. And he's going to get rid of it to the plate to make sure nothing happens. Just didn't grab the ball cleanly there, Juan. And that was enough for the sliding Matsumoto going in head first to first base. The bases are loaded with nobody out.
I don't know if we had a shot of the first base coach there for Japan, but he was nearly going to lift off the ground. He was waving his arms like a helicopter.
Needs to be a little bit careful because he's done that a few times, and a few times the runner has been well and truly short of the bag. That occasion it was much closer. I'll agree with him on this occasion that I think he was in there anyway. The umpire waited just to see whether or not the first baseman gloved the ball, and I don't think he gloved it cleanly. This is a slap ball to the second baseman. Double play opportunity. They get one, they get two. Oh, wow. Twin killing, and that will take the steam out of Japan in a hurry. They'll score a run. Otsuka will cross the plate, but they will lose Matsumoto at second. They will lose Nagai at first, and in the blink of an eye, the Koreans are 1 out away.
Wow, what play. They got a runner at third base, though, Japan, and they did cross for one more. They've narrowed the gap to 4 runs now. Is there a change of pitcher coming up?
No, Korean coach just out to have a word to Cho Won Tae. He's done really well for the Koreans, and he's probably just telling them not to worry about the runner at third. It means absolutely nothing to us. Get this last out for us and cover yourself in glory. Be the winning pitcher or
get it at the
pitcher that wins the game for us.
Japan have left runners stranded at third in the previous innings to the last. There were two occasions they had left runners stranded.
They had runners
third.
They had runners there, in the 4th and the 5th innings.
Well,
they had the lead off.
Second, third, and 4th innings they had runners there, and also in the 5th. They've had opportunities.
Absolute plenty of opportunities, but they went away from their patented short game. And some chatter coming from the Koreans. No,
umpire wants everybody inside the fence.
Oh, and the Koreans are blessing the field a little bit. I don't know if it's a premature celebration, which is always a dangerous thing. But there were some Koreans draped in the Korean flags, splashing some water onto the field as though they were blessing the field.
Hoshi at the plate.
But they need this last out before they can celebrate too hard, the Koreans. They're 1 out away.
Centre field just came in. He was called in by the coach in the Korean dugout.
Tae misses upstairs with his first pitch to Hoshi. The crowd quietens down now, almost in expectation of this one to end. 2 balls and a strike now on Yuga Hoshi. playing in right field for the Japanese tonight. He is 2 for 3. Can he keep this game going? Swings, fouls it off, stays alive. But the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out.
The crowd getting rowdy.
The ball was taken, obviously didn't go to the person the crowd wanted it to. Having a little bit of fun here as the tournament winds down. So a 2-2 pitch from Cho Won Tae is on its way. Fouled off.
Good
Hoshi
defence from
stays
Hoshi.
alive. Yeah, just finding a way to keep that ball away from crossing the plate. So Hoshi shortens up on the bat. See it visibly in his hands. You can see the knob out the bottom. The 2-2 pitch. He swings. He misses. It's all over. The Koreans win the 2018 World Boys Tournament from Blacktown, Sydney, Australia. And they are celebrating in style. They are chasing each other around, trying to douse each other with water. It is a big win for the Koreans over the Japanese by 8 runs to 4 here at Blacktown.
Massive celebration. I can tell you the crowd went up earlier when the coach in the Korean dugout dropped the ball. That's what that noise was all about. And here both teams face up each other at home plate. Just joining the managers and coaches will all get together as well, congratulate each other and pay their respects. Look, hats off, bow to each other.
Shake of the hands,
Shake
a bit of a hug
say,
between
well
a
done.
few players.
What a great game of baseball.
It was a great tournament from both of these teams. They were the dominant teams all series long, and they were the teams that you needed to beat if you were going to have any chance to be the champion yourself. And Japan, they looked more dominant through the pool stages in the semi-finals. They were the favourites coming in, but the Koreans, with a breakout 6-run bottom of the first inning, they basically took it to Japan from the get-go, and they are deserved winners of the 2018 World Boys Tournament from Sydney, Australia.
They most certainly are. Now, both clubs there right in at home plate. You can see it on our home plate camera. A great shot looking straight in there at both teams as they get down around home plate, draped in Korean flags, the 2 Korean players right at the front. And all
Korean
the photographers
manager laying
are out
right
there.
over home plate there. He's sent front and centre. You see the back of the head of Fast Eddie there with his mohawk.
Perfect photo opportunity for everybody around the world to see them. And there they go celebrating. There will be an award ceremony not too distant in the future here. We will keep the cameras rolling and summarise this game. There's a few more fun things going on amongst some of the players down there now on the third base line. And I think it's a cold water bottle is what's going on. A bit of blessing with the water there.
Yeah, they're trying to douse everyone. They don't
Where is the manager? Keep your eyes on the manager, because I'm sure there's an ice bucket somewhere. Just getting a little bit of pitcher's rubber there, some of the boys. They're getting the sand off the mound.
Get going in. They'll take a handful of the clay with them.
Yeah, they'll take a little
put it
bit
into
of that.
those water bottles, and they'll take. They won't be allowed to take it home with them. I don't imagine.
Well,
Australian.
Well, you can't bring dirt into Australia. You
Correct.
might be able to take it out.
Well, that's it. It'll be very interesting to see whether customs allow them to take that home with them. But good luck to the boys if they can take it home. A little memento of their wonderful win here in the 2018 Boys Tournament from Sydney, Australia.
Well, the unofficial stats that I've got here on this game is that Korea got their 8 runs off 10 hits and left 4 runners on base. And one error, I believe, for Korea, registered on the scoreboard as we can see it.
Well,
and for the
yeah.
Japan team, they got 4 runs off 13 hits.
Wow.
13 hits by my tally. They scored 4 runs. They left 8 runners stranded. And that's enough to win a game if you convert some of those. So 4 runs, 13 hits, 8 runners left on base.
Yeah, you're not far out, Harry. I was just having a look at my scorecard, and I was actually staggered when you said that statistic. I thought I'd better have a quick count myself, but I've got the same as you, and look, we're not too worried about errors here at the Boys World Tournament.
Absolutely.
We weren't really keeping a close count on them, as the Koreans are going to get a couple of photos just themselves on the pitcher's mound.
And for Japan, they used 4 pitching staff throughout the afternoon in this game. Shunya Arai started the game. Akiro Sayahara was the second pitcher in for Japan. Kaito Mori was the third pitcher. He did a very good job. And Arai Takahashi was the fourth pitcher up on the mound for Japan. On the other side of the sheet, for Korea, they went through 6 pitching staff and 7 innings of baseball. Seo Min Jun was the starting pitcher. Second on the hill was Jo Myung Gon. Third pitcher, Lee Ju Hyung. And fourth pitcher on the mound for Korea was Kim Min Jae. Fifth pitcher, Shim Kyu Jin. And the closing pitcher for Korea was Cho Won Tai.
I, Harrow, am going to say a little goodbye. I'm going to go down and get on the camera so we can get all the action of this closing ceremony. I just want to thank all our viewers. Thank Mackenzie for sitting in and pressing buttons. Thank all the viewers all around there, and especially thank the boys and the organisers of this tournament. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring it to you here on Sports Broadcasting Australia. And we hope that the 2019 tournament is as successful as this 2018 tournament has been. I will say my goodbyes. Thank everybody for tuning in. This is going to go a little bit longer as the closing ceremony takes on, but I'm going to get down, man a camera, and make sure we get all of the action coming in here to the closing ceremony.
Yeah, well done, Cam. I'll take that over from here. I'd also like to re-thank Mackenzie again for the effort she's put in, not only pushing buttons, doing some electronic work for us, filling in for PMAC, but working very hard over the last 3 days. It's been absolutely sensational, but more importantly, your commentary, Mackenzie, has been invaluable. You show a very good insight into the game of baseball and sports generally. We know you're a very accomplished golfer with a very low handicap, and we think that's just outstanding. We wish you all the best when you get back to the US and you get back to college down there in Alabama South. Alabama Southern.
South Alabama.
South Alabama.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
I get it the wrong way around all the time. Based in Mobile, but your hometown is Kentucky.
Yes, Newcastle, Kentucky. So
That's the way.
yeah, I'm going back there Thursday. Excited to see my dog, but I'm for sure going to be sad leaving here. But you know what? I've taken away a lot from this. So thank you guys for having me and letting me be a part of this. And it's an experience that I'll remember for a
Well,
long
welcome
time.
and farewell. Thanks
you.
for being here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for enjoying our country and certainly our city
Yeah.
of Sydney. And we enjoy having you guys here visiting us and, putting in the effort that you put in and experiencing this World Boys Tournament. I think it's fantastic all round for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And what a great crowd we had this afternoon for this game.
Absolutely.
And I think there might have been some fireworks somewhere, either on the athletic stadium or here. I can smell the fireworks. There's an iron smelter up the road. Thanks very much, PMAC. That throw a damper over that. But the wind's blowing the wrong way, and that's where the smell's coming from. Smells like fireworks anyway. And certainly a big thank you. We started this tournament on Saturday. We've been happy to bring you the broadcast from Sports Broadcasting Australia. We have a website and we have Facebook pages, as well as the Summer of Baseball Facebook page also. But the 4 of us here that have worked very hard this weekend, Paul McCulloch especially, who's had to fit in a couple of days of his normal day job, working very hard, and he's put in a huge effort setting things up, moving the equipment, getting it all working, and coordinating this whole entry and our coverage into this tournament. So PMAC, a big thank you to you. Big Cam Hickson, who was just on the microphone, is now on a camera so that we can cover this presentation part of the closing of the 2018 World Boys Tournament. And just get the experience of the closing a little bit. The opening ceremony was low-key on Saturday, but it was meant to be low-key. And as I said, Big Cam Hickson, Paul McCulloch, PMAC, and Mackenzie Payton, of course, from the US, giving us a big hand. Dave Bonham, our standby man, is always in background. He's also had work commitments, but he has put in whenever he could out here and has done a lot of research for us. He is our research department, in fact. And the Fat Controller, as we call him, only because he's a train controller across the city of Sydney and the state of New South Wales. So he does a wonderful job also. And there's lots of people tuned in, I know, all around the world. It's a big cheerio call, and thank you for viewing. Thank you for sending us tweets on Twitter. Thanks for your communications throughout the broadcast. We are a very happy crew to have been able to bring these broadcasts to you. Don't forget to tell your friends, family, and especially the kids that are playing here, they can still watch all of these replays on YouTube on this channel. We did change channels on Sunday morning. Don't be concerned about that. All of the games will be provided for on YouTube on the channel that you're watching at the moment. The replayed ones will be transitioned across onto that. There's some of them already there now. So at any stage, anybody can go back and have a look at these games on YouTube on the 2018 World Boys Tournament site, and we hope you enjoy them very, very much in the future. We've got some other people to thank. We'll be back in just a moment to do that.
Baseball, and I hope we've been able to live up to this purpose. Tournament would not have been possible without the contribution of all our volunteers. I'd like to thank the following people for donating their time and making this tournament possible. Firstly, Sports Broadcasting Australia for taking this tournament around the world with their live streaming. John Daly and his team of umpires and officiated throughout the whole tournament. Kerry Jackson has worked tirelessly behind the scenes. Richard and Kim Robertson, the University of South Alabama students that have been here helping out, have done everything from ground announcing, cleaning the bathrooms, running the scoreboard, drinks out to the dugouts. They've done everything. Thank you for their help. I'd like to thank all the parents from all of the teams for bringing your sons to play in this tournament. The host families that have accommodated all the visiting teams, thank you. And also the families that have helped with the lunches. I thank my wife's daughter, my son, indeed. Also Baseball New South Wales, the scorers that have kept score during the tournament. The Sydney Blue Sox interns that helped prepare the tournament program and have helped out throughout the tournament as well, particularly Brian Kirkpatrick. Beth Murphy, who's organised all the homestays, has done a fantastic job. So they've made an awful lot of work. Also, I'd like to thank Blacktown Venue Management for preparing the fields, especially yesterday with all the rain. They did a fantastic job bringing them up to standard. The translators for Korea and Japan, Eddie Choi for Korea, and Maki Stevens has been helping the Japanese. Also, I'd like to thank the sponsors, Red Stitches Baseball and Softball Equipment, Rawlings, Mizuno Corporation Australia, Aussie Pergolas and Landscapes, Widow's Pizza, Billy Cart Barbecue, Quest Apartments and Sports Broadcasting Australia. I've no doubt missed out on a number of people that have given up their time and helped out. I do apologise if I've missed you, but thank you very much for your contributions. Now I invite the CEO of Baseball New South Wales, Mr. Mark Marino, to come and say a few words.
Thank you all. Keep it quick to the players. Congratulations on a great week of baseball. Career team, congratulations. Well done. The rest of the guys, I hope you enjoyed the trip here. Happy to see you back here another day. Mums and dads and all the families who came, thank you for your patience and your inclusion and involvement in the last couple of days. It's been great to have everybody here. We're glad the weather was great and hope you enjoyed some baseball and welcome back. I'd like to thank Andrew for everything Andrew's done. He's worked tirelessly over the last year to get this done.
Firstly, I congratulate our third place team, San Diego.
That's the only one.
I'd like to thank the Australian families and the hosts for the wonderful hospitality sent to all of us here.
Now ask the coach from Japan to come forward and introduce his team. Congratulations on the second place.
Senior. Senior. ラグビーは結城長い。達也松本優雅星広戸平口イオン池田俊介宮下秋広犀原レイ高橋陸東南條俊早川夏木藤原結城光田海里松村海藤毛利
I now call on the coach of the 2018 champions, Korea, to come forward and introduce his team, please.
만나서 반갑고 즐거운 시간 되었습니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much to meet everyone today. I'm really surprised. Yeah, I'm really surprised and thank you so much everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Team Bird first. Just call the coaches. Coaches Park Kyung-suk, Park Kyung-sik coaches. Coaches Kang Chang-soo. Or the main director, Kim Bok-soo. Team Korean for the leader, Han Sang-woo. And our players, the team leader, Liu Jung-tae. And second pitcher, Jo Myung-geun. Third pitcher, Lee Ju-hyung. And next, it is Jo Won-tae. And next, pitcher, Seo Min-jun. Next, Kim Dong-bin. Next, Hyo Jun-oh. Next, Kim Ye-seo. Cho Se-jin. Pitcher, Kim Min-jae. And pitcher, Kim Seung-jae. Next, Kim Jong-bin. Moon Jong-bin. So, Shin Gyu-jin. pitcher, Kim Hoon-gi. And catcher, Lee Jun-sang. Lee Yu-chan. Cho Seung-hwan. Second, Yang Seo-jun. And catcher, Moon Hyun-jin. Our team player, just Han Tae-yang. Anticipating.
Now present the trophy to Korea. That now concludes the 37th World Boys Baseball Tournament. I thank everybody for attending and wish you all a safe journey home. Hope to see you at next year's tournament in Nettuno, Italy.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It was the conclusion of the closing ceremony of the 2018 World Boys Tournament being held at Blacktown International Sports Park. As we're just sort of, everybody now is just in the middle doing a little bit of swapping of items of clothing and apparel and phone numbers. They're just doing all of the exchange stuff that you normally see at a baseball tournament. Swapping caps, tops, whatever they can actually do so as they can take a memento from the last weekend or last 4 days or so of baseball and their time in Australia. So and we are going to wrap the footage up very, very shortly. It's now it is starting to get a little bit late here on a Tuesday evening after the 4 games, and we're just sort of pulling down all of our gear, and we'll be out of here. But it has been our pleasure to cover this event, the 2018 World Boys Tournament. And again, it's just a quick thank you and acknowledgement, and thanks to generous support from Baseball Umpires Association, New South Wales Scorers Association, the host families, the University of South Alabama, interns, Mark Condon, Kerry Jackson, Brian Kirkpatrick, Chris Maitland, Suzanne Matthews, Beth Murphy, Kim Robertson and Richard Robinson, Chris Ashley and Sylvia Ross, Robert Turton, and of course We Are Sports Broadcasting Australia. Cam.
Oh, PMAC, it has been a wonderful tournament. Hopefully the photos of that closing ceremony just show you the joy that all the boys had at being here at this tournament. And congratulations to the Koreans, deserved winners, and hopefully we will see them at the 2019 tournament, as Andrew said, in Italy.
Done. I know that you're actually just catching your breath, so yeah, because you've actually just quickly bolted up the stairs here, but it is going to be a wrap-up. Harrow has said his farewells. He's sort of been here and now he's out pulling down a couple of the cameras. You've just been doing some camera work. I got here quickly after work today, so apologies for not getting on the airways earlier.
I mean, we're a small, small private broadcasting group. We're not a big professional outfit. We've done the best we can for this tournament, and we think we've done pretty well. We're very happy to have been asked to do it, and we've sent these pictures all over the world. And these boys have had a wonderful time. They're continuing to have a great time. The Koreans are having fun. They're out and about in the middle of the diamond. They think they might go over and get some photos by the scoreboard shortly. So we'll see how that goes. But it's been a wonderful tournament. It's been a fantastic effort from everybody organising and who you just ran through, PMAC. And congratulations to all the boys. There were no losers this weekend. Baseball was the winner.
Definitely. No questions and at all about that one. And we're just going to have a sneeze in the booth here. But baseball definitely the winner, and it also throws well for the actual local side of things, because we did see there was 3 local like Roos. So we had the Navy, the Sky, and the Red Roos from Australia representing the under 15 side of things, and they held themselves high and they can hold their head high. But it also, what it did, it gave an insight into where things are at and how they are at from the coaching point of view.
Correct.
So
what it does is it basically gives the coaches an insight into where they need to develop their skills, to develop the boys' skills to get to the level of these Koreans and the Japanese.
Correct.
Yes, okay, the Koreans and the Japanese were national teams. A lot of their players came from the players that just missed out on selection in the Under-15s World Cup, which if you did enjoy watching this tournament, jump onto the World Baseball Classics sites, the World Baseball site. They will have links to the Under-15 World Championships. I think there's 8 teams in each pool. I think there's 16 teams competing at that. and that is the best of the best for the under-15s, and that is taking place in Panama, and I believe it starts on the weekend, on the 10th.
Yeah, pretty sure it does, Cam, from memory.
So that's a fantastic lead-in from this tournament into that. There's a Women's World Cup. That's happening in Florida a little later in the month, the 22nd of August. I've had the pleasure of playing with a couple of the Australian representatives that are going over to play in that tournament in my local club team. So we wish them all the best. There's another World Championships to follow along. It's in a wonderful stadium called the Space Coast Stadium in Florida. A wonderful tournament that will be. That starts on the 22nd of August. So lots of fantastic baseball happening around the world in this month of August. And we here at Sports Broadcasting Australia are privileged to be a part of this fantastic baseball tournament, the World Boys Tournament 2018 version from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, and now we're just going to wrap everything up because we've only got one camera left for a vision. We did start with 5, and now we've just sort of been pulling them down as we've been speaking. So it has been a pleasure, and on behalf of Harrow, as in who is he? Paul Harrodine, a.k.a. Harrow. You're Cameron Hickson, a.k.a. Big Cam.
Big Cam. Mackenzie Payton, of course, the intern from Alabama, what we've heard all day, been producing and pressing buttons and flicking switches and doing everything that could be asked of her. She's been fantastic for us this weekend and this week. And yourself, of course, PMAC, Paul McCulloch.
Yeah, and we also had the Fat Controller that sort of stuck his head in a couple of times, Dave Bonham,
which
was
floating
again,
around.
Thank you. So, all part and parcel, and behind the scenes also, we've had Longy up there in Queensland, so Glenn Long, who's also another integral part of the sports broadcasting family, for want of a better term. So it has been our pleasure, and we do thank you very much for tuning in, and until next time, until next broadcast, bye for now.
Take care, everybody. Take care of each other.